Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers. Of course, I start singing that song when I'm not just a skeleton, I'm just a pumpkin. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to the 31 Days of Halloween. This day and day... Today is day 16, I believe, and day 17 are going to both be late, or are both late. Had to take a break because of mental health and somewhat of physical health. But yeah, so I'm back. Yeah, I did a pumpkin. I put these pants on because I thought that was kind of similar to the color of white pumpkins. I was like, hey, that works. Brown fits in the aesthetic. My sideburns are coming back in. I have this weird thing where I don't grow hair right here. I don't know. It just doesn't grow here. It grows here. Grows here. Grows here. Definitely grows here. My sideburns are like the things that grow in the most. Not here. No goatees for me. Oh yeah, grows here, grows, everywhere, but right here. I guess maybe right here, I don't know. Hey, so editing me realizing I forgot to leave a little promo here, ad. So, and hence why I'm dressed differently. So, if you like goth fashion and you want to get a deal on some good stuff, unfortunately, a lot of it's expensive, go ahead and check out the two stores below in my description. We've got Gintix and Vampio. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the heck out of those. Just use the code RoyalFay40 for Gintix for 40% off your purchase, and RoyalFay50 Vampio to get 50% off. If it takes your fancy, go ahead and give it a look. I'd appreciate it. They'd appreciate it. We'd all appreciate it. I'm a dork. Today, I'm going to continue off of nightmares and dreams. I thought that would be, it'd be a good time to start continuing that. I believe that I had made mention of the story idea Dear Dream Diary at some point last time. So basically the concept of Dear Dream Diary was, or originally it was called Dear Dream Journal because I was opposed to anything called diary because that was feminine and girly sounding. But Dear Dream Diary is just so alliterative. It's like DDD, triple D's. But no, so the story concept is this person's having a bunch of nightmares. And these nightmares kind of start blending more into reality. They start being haunted through their dreams, and then the dreams start, the ghost starts showing up in real life, things like that. People around them start having nightmares about them, It's just like, basically being haunted through their dreams, and it just kind of gets worse and worse and worse. And I was having a lot of nightmares sometimes. I was going stir crazy. I had been stuck in the house. It was summer vacation. I was very young. I was like, between high school and grade school ages, I want to say, and I was like at the youngest I was middle school, and I'm like not leaving the house very much for like 2 months straight or so. So I start having a lot of nightmares, and going a little stir crazy, and I get this idea for this story, this book, and the more I write, the more nightmares I start having. So, but it makes sense. Sorry, I thought I was not recording for a second there. But it makes sense, because I'm thinking about it, and so of course it's going to happen more frequently. Okay. Then suddenly one day, my girlfriend at the time, she texted me one morning saying how she had a nightmare about me, where she was trying to protect me and stuff like that. And it was just like the more I was writing this, the more dreams happening, and the more this, and just that was like kind of what put a straw on it, where I was like, okay, no, I can't work on this. This concept needs to be shelved. This concept I can't deal with this right now, because I was getting more and more scared, and I was getting more panicked. And at the time, I was living in the house I believed was haunted. So I just kind of was like, bye, nope, guy, no, And I ended up getting the idea, like, oh my gosh, what this is based off a person what the story is, someone who's writing this story because it's based off their own experience, and then it starts happening. And I was like, okay, now you're making it way too much real for yourself. Stop. Okay, so now to actually talk about my dreams instead of just that, paranoia fit. So I'll talk to you guys about the fuck you dream. That's what I call it now. Apparently that's what I've labeled it as. So one time, I had been living in the house for a good while, so I kind of knew the layout very well. And I'm hanging out in my room. So, in this dream, I'm in my bedroom and I'm working at my desk. And I don't remember what I was doing. I was got my computer, I was writing, drawing, something, And I suddenly hear this very deep, masculine voice go, "Fuck you." Right behind me. Not even right behind me, but behind me in my room. So I turn back to see who's there. And all I see is just my cat. She's just staring up at me I'm like, okay. Weird, but okay. So I turn back and start doing exactly what I was doing. I'm just like, maybe it's just a trick of my mind or something. And suddenly there it is again. "Fuck you." I turn around, just my cat, and I just okay, I have a really bad feeling. There's this really intense bad feeling about my room. So I get up and I leave. And I turn off my light, close the door. I'm like, okay, I need to step away from this room. There's something wrong here. And I go to the living room and I tell one of my sisters, we'll call her Kat. And I believe I told my mother too about the voice. And because we all are believers here in this house about that. So I told my sister though. And we all sit out in the living room. Because the living room's literally right outside my room. There's this big old couch. Well, it's right outside my room. Big old couch, TV. And we're all watching movies together. And eventually people start falling asleep while watching things. And I'm still awake. My sister fell asleep on top of my dad's chest. And my mom's sleeping on the other side. And I decide, maybe it's a good time to check out my room now. Maybe that presence is gone. It's probably been enough time to simmer down. So I get up and I go over to my room, open the door. Actually, the door might have stayed open, I can't recall. I usually close my door because my cat didn't like it if the door was open. So I open the door and I turn on the light. And there's still this disgusting feeling, this oozy feeling. And the moment I turn out the light and just like that, it shuts back off. But that's not the only thing that happens. It's almost like something sprayed over my face, and my mouth and my eyes are glued shut. I can't see and I can't scream because my mouth is shut by something I can't see. And so are my eyes. Luckily, I had a really good understanding of the area around my room and the living room area and stuff like that because I'd lived there long enough. So I luckily didn't. I think I've mentioned in the previous video, at the time the staircase was directly by my room. So it's a good thing that, I had a good enough understanding that I wouldn't have fallen down the stairs. So I ended up, turning around and wandering my way back to the living room. And I'm panicked, obviously, but I'm trying to keep calm, trying to pry my mouth open, my eyes open. And the farther I get from the room, the more easily it is for me to be able to do that. And I'm finally able to, at least get it open, finally starting to be able to make some noise and starting to get my eyes open and stuff like that. And I was trying to scream, but I couldn't. And I eventually was able to open my mouth, and when I did, though, I still couldn't make any noise. And I ended up crawling. Ended up what happened is I thought it was safer instead of walking to crawl over to where they were. And the farther I got, the more I was able to see and speak. And I tried waking up my sister, but she wasn't waking up. But because I was so frantic, my mother ends up waking up, and she was on the other side of the couch. And so I crawled over to her and I kind of told her everything that happened. And that's where I woke up from the dream. Just telling Mom, so you remember how like my room was being all like creepy and possessed and stuff? Yeah, well, it got worse. I had some other dreams that I kind of wrote down to talk about, but like honestly, I don't know how well I can remember all of these. There was one called Daddy's Little Girl. Not about me. Not all about me. Like, a lot of times I have dreams. Like it's actually kind of rare sometimes where I have dreams from my own perspective. And I say that in most of my nightmares have it from my own perspective. But Daddy's Little Girl, if anything, I think it was about one of my other sisters, because the girl in it did remind me a lot of her. And there's always this thing about like the two middle sisters being Daddy's girls, or my dad's favorites and stuff. But yeah, so I can't remember most of the details. I couldn't find my old journal entry for it, but I remember there was like this murder thing or like kidnapping thing or something. I remember the parents of this girl like being tied up in like caution tape. And I say girl, she's like a teenager, young adult maybe. And her parents were like tied up in like caution tape or something. They're bloody and something's happening. And then there was this shirt, this white shirt that got painted in with blood. They painted like these suspenders, like 7 like suspenders, obviously real suspenders. They're painted on the shirt with like little hearts on the bottom with blood, and it says Daddy's Little Girl on it. And I don't really remember much more to that. At one point, the girl is now like in the future. She's joining. She's like in a rock band or something now, or pop star. She's in a band, and she goes to revisit the shirt kind of thing, and like she her going through hallways and finding the box where the shirt's in and opening it, and there's a shirt. I think she even put it on and was like doing a photo shoot in it or something like that, which is really kind of fucked up, seeing as how it literally is painted in with blood. I don't really need to repeat any of the little my scary ghost girl stories, or my lovely ghost girl. Sorry, don't get upset with me. You're lovely, not scary. I don't think I really need to repeat any of her stories. But she definitely was a part of the Dream Journal, Dream Diary collection. And like I said, I stopped that back before she came back again, and I was like, "Hey, welcome back." I wasn't quite. It was spooked, but not quite scared by the last dream I had about her. And if you're wondering which one that is, no, it's day 2, in fact. So, pretty early in. So, this nightmare is not part of the Dear Dream Diary, but it is a disturbing dream I had more recently. Like, back in the beginning of this month. Year. In fact, in March. Shortly after COVID started, actually. Or shortly after COVID got real in the USA, that is. Haha. And I have it written down. Like I was immediately telling like my friends stuff about it. And here's the thing about me, I don't usually just have like one dream. I usually wake up a lot. I have sleep apnea, so I fall asleep and wake up a lot. Obviously, I should be wearing sleep. Actually, everyone technically stops breathing in their sleep and wakes up constantly throughout their sleep. Just people with sleep apnea do it a lot more and have a higher chance of remembering waking up way more because, you know, we're literally suffocating twice as much or more than normal people. One of them I was living through someone's eyes. One of the memories involved me being on a mattress floating in the water. I believe I, or she, the person I was living the memories through, and for some reason, I want to say it was Heidi. For context, Heidi is a character of mine from My Joker. Interesting enough, I do voice. Just had a miscarriage, so the mattress was dirty and bloody. For some reason, the water was internal, like in something that looked like a sewer or tunnels. The mattress ended up floating toward a high waterfall in this place, and I had to remind myself not to panic, because this wasn't really going to affect me. They were just memories. I remember shutting my eyes as I reached the drop, because real or not, I was feeling everything she felt. I almost felt like I clenched onto my miscarried fetus whilst this happened, feeling my body lifted from the mattress as I fell down the waterfall. I still landed on the mattress as we finished the drop, but it was such an uneasy feeling. I remember the tunnels were all brownish, yellowish, orangish, and brick concrete-like material. I have very oddly detailed and vivid dreams. Dear gods, though, I felt the drop. Like, you know the feeling you have in your gut when you're on a roller coaster or a drop ride? But here's the thing. I had no straps or assurance that I was going to land back on the mattress safely in any capacity. I was floating in the air above the mattress for part of the moment. Yeah, normally that, for part of the moment. And then my friend commented, like, usually you'd wake up during that. It's like, yeah, normally that would be the body's natural response. Though apparently I did sleep very heavily that night. In fact, one of my partners had tried waking me up. She was poking me, talking to me, even apparently laid on top of me. And I just for context, she's like 6'3", and I'm more than a foot shorter than her. And she laid on me, and I did not respond in any regards. I slept so heavy. And I can't even remember any of that. And I sleep talk too, so apparently I did not respond. So apparently I did respond a few times when she tried to talk to me. When she tried waking me up. It was just, I do remember having this dream and how intense that felt. It was just like, I literally was on this mattress floating in this, like, sewer underground tunnel or something. I don't even know if it's actually underground. I have no proof of that. I just remember it was, like, in this tunnel-like thing, kind of sewer-esque. I think the water did definitely look disgusting. And I had a miscarriage, which, you know, I can't have a miscarriage. I can't even get pregnant. But, And so it was just so interesting, and just like that feeling of the drop was kind of like terrifying, and I didn't wake up because usually your body's response to having that drop in a dream is to wake up, and I didn't. I still stayed on the mattress floating along with my little fetus. I'm not sure if it was a fetus. It was probably like an embryo or something. I don't know. I like I said, I felt like I clenched it. I don't actually remember fully clenching it and stuff. I'm known for having very vivid and detailed dreams. I've had a few where I had a zombie, and sometimes time passed throughout them. I had this one dream of a zombie apocalypse, and I holed up in my house for like weeks or so, and eventually like some other people tried like getting in because they wanted shelter and stuff. But it's just like, it's amazing to me sometimes is how vivid and detailed my dreams can be and how long they can last. Oh gosh, the Junji Ito Everlasting Dream, or whatever it's called, is now like playing in my head. Well, I think that's all I have for you today. Well, thank you for today's late episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all are practicing safe social distancing, and that you all have a gay day.